What's happening, guys? This is Bharat Nagpal for iGyaan, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Gionee Elife S5.5. Now, this has been given the moniker of the slimmest phone in the world, with measuring only 5.5 millimeters in thickness. It is very lightweight and pocketable, priced at Rs 22,900. The device is going to be available in the market early May, and our review is going to tell you what all we like about this device and what all we dislike about this device. Let's start off. In terms of build quality, this is one of the most premium devices that you can get at this price bracket. The device not only looks good, but it's a very solidly built Gorilla Glass encased device. So you have glass on the front as well as glass on the back, and you have a metal alloy composite which is on the bezels along with inside the device as a frame supporting all the hardware. The top and bottom of the front glass is tapered to give it a very nice and sleek look, and overall the device looks very premium, much more than the price of the device itself. Now, the device is going to be available in a bunch of colors. What you're looking at is the completely black version, and we also went hands-on with a white and gold and a blue and pink version at launch. Now, on the outside you have a 5-inch 1920 by 1080p display, and on the front you also have a 5-megapixel autofocus camera which does do 1080p video. On the back you have a 13-megapixel autofocus camera which also does 1080p video. On the inside is a MediaTek 6592 chipset which has 8 cores clocked at 1.7 GHz each. You also get the new Mali 450 MP4 GPU and 2 GB of RAM and 1632 GB storage capacities, along with a 2300 mAh battery. If you move along the edges of the phone, you'll see that all the buttons are laid out on the left, along with the power and volume button, and you have the charging port or the micro USB port on the top. The SIM card slot is on the right side of the phone, and the 3.5mm headphone jack is on the bottom. The device has a set of microphones, one for making voice calls and one for noise cancellation, which is located next to the camera. The mic next to the camera is also used for recording audio during video capture. Now, despite being this slim, this device is nicely rounded off at the back. It's really comfortable to hold in the hand and also really easily pocketable. The phone features Android 4.2.2 out of the box and comes with a user interface made by Gionee themselves called Amigo. Now, this version of Amigo, also known as Amigo 2, is a major improvement over the previous generations of Amigo, which had various issues and would lag a lot. Amigo 2.0 performs excellent, and with the use of included applications like the battery booster and the performance booster, you can tweak around with the user interface and tweak around the number of applications that start up during launch to overall boost up the performance of the device quite a lot. Now, the user interface is fast and responsive, and the company says that they'll be pushing out updates on a regular once this device is launched. There's no clarity on whether or not this device is going to get Android 4.4 KitKat. Now, in terms of performance, this device is pretty exceptional. It almost can handle anything that you can throw at it, and it's a king of multitasking. The 8-core CPU comes in really handy, and it's one of the only chipsets in the world that can simultaneously use 8 cores. So the overall end resultant of performance is excellent. We also saw great results in benchmarks on the S5.5, and while gaming, this device performs excellent. You see almost zero lag or frame loss during gaming, and the little bit of incompatibility that you get within games should be sorted out when developers start to develop on this chipset. The speakerphone could have been louder on this device, but it's not, and battery life is pretty impressive. You get more than a day's use on average, especially if you make up to 5 hours of phone calls. You should get by in a day. If you do more than that, then you might need to recharge your device. The device lacks LTE, but phone call capabilities and 3G network performance is solid, and the audio from the speaker as well as the microphone is excellent, so no complaints in terms of networks or phone call capability on all 3G networks globally. Now, unlike the competition, the Micromax Canvas A350, this device doesn't heat up to the point where you can't pocket it or hold it anymore. It does definitely get warmer than usual, and it just seems that the chipset is not fully compatible, but it's not to the extent of the Micromax Canvas A350, which get blazing hot. So this one is fairly comfortable. It gets slightly warm from around the region of the camera, but it's manageable, and it's just when you put it in extreme modes like putting it through a lot of gaming or putting it through a lot of benchmarks, etc. The cameras on the device are pretty impressive. Color correction and color compositions are excellent. Saturation from the camera is perfect, and there is no exposure problem whatsoever. There is inbuilt image stabilization, which is not optical image stabilization, but it does help a little bit. Images come out crisp and full of color, and it's a pretty impressive camera for being on a smartphone, and we are pretty happy with the end resultant from the camera. The front camera could use a little bit of work, and it's not the best that we've seen. It is a 5-megapixel camera, and mostly images end up blurry, and especially if you have shaky hands like mine, you will end up with a lot of shaky images. So you might need to hold on to your hand really tightly when you click a picture from the front camera. Video quality capture is also pretty good, and you can refocus while capturing video, which is excellent. So you get a good overall end resultant for video. So pretty impressive in terms of optics and camera camera capabilities, and I don't think we have any complaints with that. In conclusion, the Gionee S5.5 may as well be the best phone that you can get on the 8-core chipset from MediaTek. It is beautifully built and it is extremely slim, very comfortable to hold and very pocketable. It has a beautiful display, and overall shape and design of the device makes it a very beautiful looking handset. That being said, it does lack a bunch of things. For example, 4K video capture could have been enabled on this, and this device lacks a micro SD card expansion slot. The device also does not come with Android 4.4 out of the box, which is a disappointment for us, and the front camera could use improvement. Overall, the device is very stable and can handle all sorts of performance. Battery life is decent, but again could have been much better. But the lack of design flexibility with this thin a device giving you almost a day's use of the device makes it pretty impressive in terms of the battery life capability. If you're looking for a handset that looks exceptionally premium and can handle mostly everything that you throw at it, has a custom user interface, you might not be able to root these devices because Gionee has not let out updates for the software. That again comes down to how you want to use the device. If you want to use the device out of the box, the S5.5 may be the handset that you're looking for in the 22,000 price bracket. But with the likes of the Motorola X and handsets from Sony as well as Samsung in the market, one might have to make a decision. But in terms of the build quality, in terms of the looks, and in terms of even performance, including the camera at the back, we feel that the S5.5 may actually come out on top versus some of the other devices in the market. With any questions or queries, do drop them in the comment section below. If you have any other doubts, you can read our full review on iGyaan.in. You can catch us on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, and make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaan TV for iGyaan Networks. This has been Bharat Nagpal. Thank you guys for watching.